Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Swag Her on today's edition of What's Going On. And today we are sitting down and speaking with finding out what's going on with Miss Alicia Washington Lee. And I'm excited about this interview to find out what's going on with her. As you come in, you can go ahead and share. Let me go ahead and share the broadcast on today. And shortly, I will bring her up for her to introduce herself to us. And as you know, I am HB, your host of the Gossip Podcast, business strategist, as well as life restoration coach. And I'm getting ready to do this interview that I'm so excited about to find out what is going on with Miss Alicia Washington Lee. Let me go ahead and bring her up again. Share this video, tag and share in the comments. Let's tag some people, get them in the comments. Let me go ahead and tag a few. And you all tag as well as you come in. Make sure it doesn't matter if you catching the live version of this video or the replay. Let someone know about this video. Tag and share because we overcome by someone else's story of how they triumph, even how they started their business, how they became successful, whatever it is that we discuss on today. You will be blessed by it, and someone else will as well. So I want to bring her up now so she can introduce herself to us. Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, how are you guys doing? How are you
We're
doing?
good. We're good. How are you on today? Can you go ahead and introduce yourself to us? We want to hear what's going on with you. We want to hear you introduce yourself to us.
Okay. Well, I am Alicia Washington Lee. I am a single mother of two adult daughters, and I have one beautiful grandbaby that turned 1 year old on Valentine's Day. So she's a sweet baby. She's a sweet baby. I am a salon owner, a mini salon owner, who has I've had my license 15 years plus. I am now a certified life coach and a master hairstylist, as well as an author. And I call myself a serial entrepreneur. So, yeah, just some amazing things happening. And I'm just looking forward to what God has in store, what He has in store, what He has in store.
Amen. I'm excited. If you have not, go ahead and share this on your pages as well so that your audience can come in and find out more about you. Sometimes we have people following us and associate with us and they really don't know our story. They really don't know how we came about. So share this on your page as well, to let your audience know that you are on Swag Her, and we about to find out about what's going on with you. So I love that. Listen, I love to interview people that I have stuff in common with. I am also a licensed stylist. I was in the salon business for many years. I did hair for many years, and I was in an accident, so that took me away from being behind the
Wow.
chair. But
Yeah.
I still love the idea of you having a salon, you being a stylist, you being an author. What motivated you to write a book? Because I know your first book wasn't necessarily about what you do. So I want to know what motivated you to be an author.
What motivated me was my mom. When she like died a sudden death, like from out of the blue, out of nowhere. Um, we found her unresponsive by the bed. She
Right,
wasn't sick. There was nothing wrong. We have no idea to this day what actually took place.
my
But
lord.
to make a long story short, after having her on life support for 3 days, and with her being hooked up to electrodes, the wires, and just on the life support, it was pretty much disfiguring her face, her mouth, and it affected her hair very bad. She had like some color in it, and once the life left, after we had to make the decision to pull the plug, um, what pushed me to do it was when we got to the funeral home and I had to do her hair.
Wow.
And I was in the back, and I was getting frustrated. Of course, emotions was
Yeah.
everywhere because, hey, I just lost my mom. I noticed that her hair would not curl at all. um and you know, when you're a stylist, you find out a lot of things as you go, you learn as you go, that the heat, that everything, it left her body when the life, you know, so was not able to curl like I wanted to. So I ended up having to cut her hair all off, and then I had to like create a wig. So I started out, after it was all over, the funeral, I sat down for about a good 6 months, and I decided to write a just a devotional. It's called "It's Just Hair." It's called it's restoring your crown of glory. And it God impressed upon me to let women know that um, sometimes how we believe about our condition, how we look at ourselves, and how we view things, God can restore. If he can heal, if he can deliver, if he can do all those things for you, he can restore your hair. It's about how you believe. It's what kind of faith you have. So I did that devotional. I dedicated it to my mom with scriptures. And it's basically, it was talking about clientele, and how hairstylists need to really be in a place, be prayed up, because we're therapists when they sit in the seat.
Come on, say
You
it.
know it. Because we go home with their problems. We go home, I'm talking about heavy, after we're done with their day, because we listen.
Therapists, ministers, life coaches.
We are everything. So that's what inspired me to do it, was just the tragedy with my mom. I think God had it happened that way. A lot of things we don't understand when it happens at that moment. But I believe that's what pushed me into being an author, was because, you know, I had to write about it. I had to do a devotional. I had to share with what God dropped in my spirit about how we look at our hair, the condition, even our health, our life, period,
Right.
how we look at it. So that's what started it, girl. That's what started it all.
Listen, I love how God, this is why I said, I know that the book, it was just not about what you do. I
Right.
love how God used that, that you're, sorry about the tragic moment. However,
Oh
God
yeah.
uses all of our pain for purpose. And he used that painful situation to bring out something else in you, like a devotional. Who would even
Yeah.
think about a devotional being about hair? But that's a part of your glory, especially as a woman.
Yeah.
So, and it's, so that's amazing how he used that to bring, that tragic situation to bring
Yeah.
out purpose in you
Yeah.
and have you to write a devotional
Yeah.
concerning the hair. And that is just how, see, every aspect of our lives, God
Yeah.
is ever present, right? So I
Right.
love
Right.
that. I love
Right.
that. And
Right.
outside of you being an author, how else did that, what else did that, the death of mom, how else do you feel like it fueled your fire in other areas?
Oh, honey, I got to writing and writing. I finally um did two life story books, because I felt like the a lot of times when we go through a lot of things in life, whether it's tragic, whether it's good, bad, ugly, honey, I'm talking about rock bottom. I'm talking about struggles, obstacles. I feel like God gives us those testimonies for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
We are to share them to help the next woman, or it can be the next man, because you know, a lot of women's stories or men's stories, vice versa, they are encouraging, inspirational. So I ended up writing um two more books that fuel me, girl. I'm talking about, you know what, I need to write, because at that point I wanted to, like, make my mom proud, even though she wasn't here, she's in spirit, but to just let her know that I was really stepping into that moment of maximizing my full potential, and walking in purpose, on purpose, and being able to be a blessing, because I just believe that's why I was here, girl. I wasn't supposed to be here at all. I wasn't supposed to have been born. So
Right.
it's got to be a reason why things happened the way it happened. So that's what fueled me the most, was just continuing that legacy, continuing to do things in her name, even though it's me, but I still have the same bloodline. But just doing it that way, girl, it fueled me, because in the midst of all of that, I went through a divorce right after she passed.
Right.
So
And
like,
that's what I was just about to ask you about that. Like, I know that you've been through circumstances and situations like going through the death of your losing your mother, as well as going through a divorce and then still being able. That's why I asked what fueled you, because a lot of times grief, I know also well about grief. I was in grief for 15 years over my father and literally was stuck, did not even know I was stuck, not moving. So
wow.
that could do the opposite, but I noticed that it fueled you in
Yeah.
another way. Like it
Yeah.
got you to moving, into your purpose. And that's what it comes to do, honestly. But of course, we're always fought by the adversary. But I
Oh,
wanted to talk
absolutely.
about that. Like you went through your the loss of your mother and then going through a divorce. Tell us a little bit about that and how did that affect you, and how did it, in the ways that it may have hindered or
Oh, yeah.
or even brought out a positive outcome.
Was married 14 years. And in that moment when you get married, you feel like, oh my God, that person is for you, that person is for you. But really, that's really not the person, for your life. You know what I'm saying? Because um people, men, women, carry baggage that you're not able to mentally, you don't have the mental capacity to carry it. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So we were just
Un-
unbalanced,
Unequally yoked.
unequally yoked, honey. He was a street dude, and I was a church girl. And when you're green, you get caught up so fast. When I say you
Hmm.
get caught up so fast, you get caught up. And it just became very stressful. The verbal abuse, the mental abuse, um it even became physical. You know what I'm saying? So I couldn't carry it any longer. After trying 5 times, girl,
Hmm.
5 times, it just didn't work out. I knew I was going to eventually have to let it go, but I was grieving as well, so I couldn't be the wife that I needed to be, because I just didn't have that fight in me, because I was like, you know what? I just lost my mom and it's just not working out. We're not matching. You don't want to go to church, but I do. You don't want to pray. You don't want to worship, but I do. So
Right.
I had to go ahead and let it go, because when you're grieving two things. I was grieving my mother and I was grieving my marriage.
Right.
So it was like it was a double hitter.
Right.
Um, but
And you
girl,
also, I want to include, right? You also
yeah,
grieve life as you know it.
yes, absolutely. As I knew it. Because a lot of times we get in situations, and we meet up against obstacles that I won't say take us out of our character, but it does.
Hmm.
Like being married, it was cool, but that just was not my character. I was ordained as a minister at 19. I was look, girl, preaching, I was speaking, I was doing a lot while being married. But when you're bumping heads and like that, it's like God is saying, okay, I'm telling you, this is
Hmm.
not matching. Why you here? Why you still here? But I felt like in that moment I was still with inside of my marriage because of my kids. And this is the gem and the nugget, that the thing that really got my attention was one day I talked to my daughters about it, and they were like, Mom, okay, why are y'all still together? And I was like, what you mean why we still together? I'm still together because of y'all. And my oldest one, she said, you didn't ask us how we
Hmm.
felt.
My Lord.
You didn't ask us how we felt. We were going through a trauma too. We were going through an emotional roller coaster with you, and you never once asked us how we felt. You were
Wow.
just making the decision because you felt like we wanted to be there, but we were okay.
Wow.
We were okay. And I think as women, that motherly instinct, we don't stop to say, you know what? let me talk to my kids to see how they feel,
Come
because
on.
I'm thinking them they crying and oh my God, my mom and my dad is not here, they're not together. And I'm thinking it was because of that, but it was because they were saying I was dragging them along in something that they were over it.
Listen, listen, may the children speak. We've grown up in the area where in the era that, where it's like, okay, you a child, stay in the child's place. However, things that we grew up with, it wasn't necessarily right because I'm finishing up my book, and that's a part of my book. One of the lessons learned from one of the lessons learned is that I pull that out from from things that happen in my life, and that's one of the lessons that I put in there is that as parents, we need to hear from our children, need a voice. That's how they
Right,
feel secure.
right.
Like we can't tell them to shut up all the time, but yet we want them to feel safe and secure with us.
That
So
part.
that is, see, daughter knew. I was like, Mom, hold up, wait, check this out. Let me let you in on a little insight.
Right, right. Because in that, I ended up having a stroke,
My Lord,
lost the mobility of my right hand and my right side. So I had to bounce back from that. Um, then turned around and just here a few years ago, another tragedy hit me where I couldn't walk for 10 months. I was in a wheelchair for
my
10 months
Lord,
because I had 4 broken vertebrae bones in my lower back. So
my
just
Lord.
imagine um in that I lost a lot. I hit rock bottom. I was homeless. I was staying in my car, living from client to client, just to get gas money.
My
Um,
God,
looking at my car be repoed in front of my clients, facing the embarrassment, facing the okay, God, here I am. I'm Job. Here, okay. I, I have nothing else to give. You have nothing else to take from me. And it's like when you're in that moment and you're having that Job experience, I don't even know why I'm saying this, but having that Job experience, it's like nobody is there to help you. Nobody. It's like you have to go through it.
but everybody got an opinion.
it Everybody had with a D had an opinion, and it was, oh, I'm here for you, call me when you need me. And when you ring the phone, it was, well, I'm sorry, I ain't got it right now, and this that and the other. So all I can do was sit in my car when I did have it at that time and just cry. I was parking at well lit areas. Girl, I don't look like what I've been through, but
Come on,
it,
don't
it
look like what you've been through. You hear me?
it's like God will only allow the devil to do so much, but he won't let him take you out.
Won't let them take you out.
He won't let him take you out.
You
And
were considered.
that part, I had to walk in my purpose, and I had to. A lot of people say you need to share your story. You need to share your story. Just don't write it. Just don't write it. And I have been too like, I don't know, should I share? But I'm at a point now in 2024, just such as yourself, you writing a book, that it's time to share your story, because I got a prophetic word from my godmother, and she said, "Baby, if you don't open up your mouth and if you don't share your story," she said, "God will take it from you
Let me
because."
tell you something. How I get to write in my book. Because as I told you, I had an accident. So that accident was because I was being disobedient and did not write the book.
Mm,
So when I did not write the book, when he said write the book, 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 many profits, many downloads, many knowing myself, and I did not listen. So now he stopped me down. So I wouldn't be able to do nothing but write the
wow.
book. So God mama know what she talking about. God mama know what she talking about because the
Wow.
will give you that sit down moment. He will. I know people, we know how people feel like the love of God. And even with you going through the experience that you went through, I'm sure that your faith was being tested
Oh,
and
yes,
tried, and
absolutely.
even people witnessing you going through that, knowing that you are or ordained minister, they probably had their things to say, like, oh, if you believe in God, oh, how would God do this and this and this and this? But God wants to get something to us and through us. So he takes us through these things. He allow um us to be considered, just as Job, as you brought up before. Job to be us to be considered for to carry that glory and for him to get the glory out of our
Yeah,
story. Um,
absolutely.
tell us about the other books that you've written, the books that you've written. Let us know the titles of those books, and even let us know how we can purchase those books. If you have a
Okay.
website that I can put inside of the comments,
Okay.
or let me know. Let us know.
First, the first book, the part of my life story was it's called "Purpose Wouldn't Let Me Die," and I was on the book cover on the front. That's the bed I was in when I had the stroke, and finally they came and discharged me and was like, "Hey, you're gonna have to go through the process of gaining your strength and everything." And at that moment, my dad looked at me and he says, "Take a picture of this bed," and I was like, "Take a picture of the bed?" I was like, "Why?" He said, "Because one day you're gonna look back on this day and see what he called it, the good man up above." He said, "The good man up above done for you." And I
Yes,
was like, "Oh,
indeed.
okay, cool." So I ended up actually writing that book, starting with my childhood. Being in church, I started singing at 5. I still do to this day. Being in church and looking at my mom and my dad go through a lot of things, and they're married, grew up poor. I'm talking about poor girl, staying in a 2-bedroom trailer home in the country. That's poor, like real poor. Um, and starting with the childhood trauma is that book. Knowing that purpose was in me, and knowing that when purpose is in you, and when God has something in store for you, that it won't let you die. Like when you going hard and it's like, I know it's purpose in me. I know it. I just know it is. It's not gonna let you die. It's not gonna let you fade away. It's not gonna let you forget about the vision God gave you. It's not gonna let you forget about the dreams, the goals. It's not gonna let you forget about any of that. And so that's what made me write that book, starting out with the childhood and just going through my divorce, losing my mom, everything that took place there, with ministry, and how, I was in a disobedient um, state, wrestling with God back and forth about speaking and being in church. I just didn't want to do it because I was like, no, I can't do it. My mom is not here. She's not going to see me. She can't hear me. None of that. I wrestled with God a lot. My dark moment, my dark stage, being homeless and being kicked out um, of shelter, girl, it's a life story, okay? And it's a
Yes.
45-minute life story.
Well,
But
lifetime.
it really is. I look, girl, you said something. I got that word too. But anyway, I'm gonna
Receive
move
it.
on. The other one is the Chronicles of a Hairstylist. That's me, going through my singleness after divorce, and trying to accept that I was single, and experiencing the lonely moments and feeling alone, even though I know God is with us. But sometimes our minds say, I don't want to die by myself. I don't want to be by myself. I want somebody I could talk to. So, child, I let some friends convince me to start trying to online date. I'm thinking that guy had him online, and baby, let me tell you, that was the worst of the worst. My online dating, it was a tragedy.
Jesus.
Dating period has been a tragedy. Okay, so it's the real deal in that book. Um, Talking about how I was almost killed dating an online guy.
My
Um,
Lord.
I say killed, but his intentions was to rape me. His intentions was to take me on out of here, and I wasn't gonna come back home to my kids.
My
Um,
Lord.
it was tragedy in a few of those. So that book is the second part of my life story. And honey, I ain't yet to write the next book. Uh,
Hmm.
the next one, because when you're walking in disobedience and you feel like, and you're single, that the enemy will send a man to take you out of here, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. And during that time, I sacrificed my relationship with God. I put it in jeopardy over a suave, honey, and it didn't work out so well. So that book is coming too. Okay. And you can get these books on Amazon, okay?
Look,
All
the
the Amazon.
counterfeits.
For real.
The
Honey,
counterfeit.
I'm talking about yeah, because I'm a country girl. The city slickers, I can't. I, mm-mm, mm-mm.
Right.
Yeah. So after that book, I've been promoting it, and the 2024 for that is breaking it down into a series. So that's what I'm working on right now, amongst some other things. But we'll get to that when you ask me about 2024.
Yes. Yes, which that's what I would that is going to be my next question. What's going on with you for 2024?
Okay, series from Chronicles of a Hairstylist, and I started going to um, a high school, talking to cosmetology students,
Hmm.
sort of like a mentorship, just speaking to them about the reality, or the other side of when you graduate,
Right.
how it's not going to be all peaches and cream. When you go into your salon, they need to know the ins and outs, the ups and downs, and how to face them, face the challenges. So God put it down in my spirit to do a mentorship program. It's called Slay Fearless Mentorship Academy that I'm almost done with. And that is to help mentor future hairstylists, and then present ones too, to enhance
I
skills.
love that name.
Oh, girl, Slay Fearless, baby. Let me tell you, I'm gonna tell you how that name came up. The Slay Fearless.
Love it.
Um, Working on professionalism, growth, how important it is, um, how important it is to communicate and have a work balance life, because you're a hairstylist, honey. You know how it is when we work, 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 work,
All the time.
and we don't think about ourselves. We forget about self-care. We don't eat. We don't get rest. We steady, just we on the go. We on the go, and that's why I believe when I had the back injury, I believe God set me down. He set me
Hmm.
down and got my attention.
Hmm.
Um, and during that moment, girl, that's when I found out who was my friends and who weren't.
All the
Um,
time.
that's when I found out who was loyal and who wasn't. Because a pair of lips would say anything. People will say, "Oh, girl, I'm praying for you. I got you." No, you're not praying. You preying on me.
Right.
You're praying for my demise. You're glad that I'm in this state right now. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Hmm.
So I found out a lot, but God, woo, let me tell you, I didn't lose a thing in that moment, because when I got the prophetic word that I would never go through that season again, I
Thank
embraced
you,
that.
Jesus. Thank
I
you, Lord.
embraced that. And I would tell you, you would never go through this season again. It's
Amen.
almost over. It's
Yes.
almost over, girl.
Yes, it is.
It
Yes,
is
it is.
almost, yeah, girl. That's the other side. But yeah,
Yes.
that's what I'm working on right now. And just being intentional. In setting boundaries and not letting people cross those boundaries. And speak up, stand up for myself, because I'm one of those genuine. I was passive people, but now I'm genuine, honey. But I'm gonna tell you in that moment. Now listen, this ain't what the Lord said. Do this is not for my life. I'm not gonna let you pour in those things in my life. This is 2024. I just can't do it because my mind set is on something else. And in 2024, I am feeding myself what I want to become.
Amen. 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 Listen, your hair is slayed, by the way. Did you do your own hair?
I just did it. I just did it before.
Listen, I want you to tell us to listen. I'm just looking at your hair like her hair is so slayed. First of all, where are you? Where are you? You in
I'm
what
in
state?
Fort Worth, Texas. I am in Fort Worth,
Okay.
Texas.
Listen, she's in Texas, everyone. Y'all need to go ahead and get to this salon. Let us know the name of your salon, where you're located, as well
Okay.
as let us know how they can follow you, your business page and
Okay.
everything, Facebook
Okay.
and Instagram.
Okay. So it's Intentions Hair Care. LLC is spelled, I spelled it a little different because I'm unique. It's Intentions, Intentions Hair Care. And I'm located in Fort Worth, Texas. You can follow me on Instagram at Alicia or Washington. Um, on Facebook, it's the same thing. It's Alicia R. Washington, and same business Facebook hair page, Intentions Hair Care. And I also have a website where I'm updating and putting things that I'm doing in the community, projects, books, and everything on my website. It is www.missalicia.washington. That's MSALICIA Washington.com.
Okay, hold on one second. I'm putting
Oh
it
yeah.
one
Okay.
more. I want you to give me your www dot.
Miss Alicia Washington.com.
Okay, guys, listen, go and follow, go on the website, go purchase the books, go to Amazon. Do you have a link on your website to take them to Amazon for the books?
Yes, I do.
Okay, good.
Mm-hmm.
So you could go
Mm-hmm.
to the website to purchase the books. I'm inspired. I'm inspired. I'm inspired. So I know
Yes,
that someone
girl,
is,
you got this. You
and
got
make
this.
sure that everyone who have watched this video, make sure you do a follow, share again, even if you shared before, or share, tag someone that you know can be encouraged by this story. Listen, triumph. After going through loss, grief, divorce, I just went through a divorce in August. I just went through a divorce from someone that I was friends with this my ex-husband for 27 years, and
Wow.
got into a marriage, and baby, I ain't even know that person. But but so, and I just recently went through, after 4 years of marriage, went through a divorce in August of last year. So I understand. I know all about this. I know all about, going
Yeah.
through,
Oh yeah.
listen, grief,
Yeah.
all of
Yeah.
this. So guys, listen, we are overcome by someone else's testimony, and by the blood of the lamb. So
Oh
listen,
yeah.
let
No,
someone
thank
else
you.
be inspired. And now she's a successful businesswoman that's encouraging others. She's having her Slay Fearless mentorship program is coming out. Her academy is coming out really, really soon in 2024. Also, she's going to be writing more of the Hair Chronicles. It's going to be a series, so we go looking forward to that. And even the books that she's already published, she's an author. Listen, she's an author, she's a hairstylist, she's a coach, she's a motivator, she's inspiration, she's a minister. Y'all go and follow, please go and follow her social medias, accounts on Instagram as well as on Facebook. Make sure you follow. And it was Alicia R. Washington, right?
Yes.
Right. So make sure
Mhm.
that you go on and follow. I'm going to put it on as well, so that everyone can know and follow, like, and share. And is there anything else that you would like to leave with the audience today?
I would just encourage each individual to stand in your truth. Stand in your truth. Know who you are. Know who God made you. He made you in his image. And a lot of times we don't feel like we're walking in his image because we fail sometimes, we fall sometimes, we have our moments of weakness. But just know that you were designed and created um in a perfect way, that you are more than enough, you are worthy, that you can do it, no matter how
Right.
hard you fall, no matter how you pressed up against a wall with nowhere to go, and it seems like you don't know how you're going to do this, you don't know how you're going to do that, you don't know. Just know that God is going to turn it around. um and you got to know that, I'll leave this. When God gives you a vision, um, It's not made. It's not a vision for you to tell everyone.
Come
He
on.
didn't tell he didn't tell you to pick up the phone to get advice from nobody, to get nobody's opinion on what he gave you. That's your vision. And nobody's ever going to understand. And sometimes we prematurely abort the vision because we're sharing it too much. We're picking up the phone to call our homegirl, or we calling Keisha trying to find out, girl, what you think about this?
What you
I
think
got
about
this
this?
vision. I got this vision. And God said, I didn't tell you to pick up the phone to call nobody. I gave that to you. Because back then in the Bible days, when he gave them vision, they didn't go out sharing it with everybody.
Come
They
on.
just did what he instructed them to do.
Come
So
on.
in this season, in 2024, whatever he instructs you to do, don't ask no questions. Don't ask for nobody's opinion, because it don't need to be validated by people anyway.
Right. You know
Period.
what? He just dealt with me 2 days ago about when we make, like you said, when we go, it's like looking for validation from the enemy, because it's only two. It's only good and evil. It's only God and the enemy, right? So when we are seeking out those validations, it leaves room for the enemy to come in to demise the plan. Like you said, where you don't even get to it. You don't even, it causes like it causes that space in between you and the progression, you
Yeah.
and getting it done, you finishing, like that space in between. So
Yeah.
that's good. That's good right there. That's a good one.
That's when procrastination starts setting in, and
Mm-hmm.
you get stuck, you get unmotivated, you get burned out, you experience a whole lot of changes, and there are a lot of levels that we go through, because we've shared too much of what God has told us to keep to ourselves. And now we're stuck trying to figure out. Now, I know he gave it to me. I wrote the vision down and made it plain. No, he told you to write the vision down and make it plain, but not make it plain to everybody in your circle, your family, your husband, your kid. He didn't tell you to do that. He said for you to do it. Just like when Job was going through, his wife looked at him and said, why don't you just curse God and die? Nope. I ain't doing it. I'm
Come
not doing it,
on.
because I know what he has been to me. I'm not gonna get taken out of here. So just imagine if he had to listen to her. Girl, he wouldn't have got double.
Listen,
He wouldn't have got healed. He wouldn't have came out.
wouldn't
So
have
that's what
came out.
happens with us. We stay stuck because we allow people to get in our ear and cause chaos. And
Cause
now we're swimming in it. And it's because homegirl done planted a seed. The husband done planted a seed. The boy, who people plant seeds. And their assignment is to plant the seed. But it's about how strong are you mentally, and how strong are you with your relationship with God and your faith and your trust in him. How strong are you to say, nah, now I know he gave me that vision. So I'm gonna do it. And he makes provision for the vision. Simple as that.
come
Simple
on.
as that. So that's what I would tell the people, is to just keep going. Um, it pays off. Um, I wrote in my book that James Cleveland said, I don't feel no ways tired, but I come too far from where I started from. Nobody told me that this road would be easy, but I just don't believe he brought me this far to just leave me right here. Because it's more to you, and everybody that's tuned in, it's more to you than this. It's more to life than this. And all we have to do is just continue to just activate our faith. That mustard seed ain't very big. It's about this much. It can move a mountain. We got to start stepping outside of the comfort zone and saying, all right, make me uncomfortable. But God, why you making me uncomfortable? Whatever you're doing in this season, just don't do it without me.
Don't do it without me. Don't
Don't,
do it without me.
don't
Y'all
do it
go
without
follow
me.
the anointed Miss Alicia R. Washington, okay?
Now listen, on my page, you probably gonna catch me in a whole nother vibe. That's because I try to keep my balance. You know what I'm saying? But
Yes. It don't matter. The anointing
Listen.
always speaks through. It shines through.
Yes,
It
ma'am.
shines
Yes,
through.
ma'am. Yes,
It
ma'am.
shines through. So it does not even matter. Listen, guys, again, follow, share, tag. And we're getting ready to end this live. I know that this blessed someone. You have heard what's going on with Miss Alicia R. Washington Lee. And I want you to go to her website. Again, the website is www Miss Alicia R. Washington.com. Purchase her books, support her, go follow. Make sure you stay in tune for the Slay Fearless Mentorship Academy that is coming soon. If you're a hairstylist, if you're getting ready to go to school for hair, check out her books, The Chronicles of a Hairstylist, as
Yes.
well as the Purpose Wouldn't Let
Amen.
Me Die. Purpose Wouldn't
Yes.
Let Me Die. That alone is like speaking. Okay, the title alone is speaking. So
Yes.
make sure you go and check those books out, as well as even the hair journal that she have. If you are hairstylist, or if you want to just even not even if you are a hairstylist, just a woman. Okay,
Oh,
go check
yeah.
these
That
things
part.
out. Go check these
Yeah.
things out. Please do so. And we thank you all for viewing us today. Follow, share, and tag. We're gonna end the live, and I'll meet you backstage.
Okay. Bye.